So, you ever looked at a photo of someone online and just felt that something was a little bit off? Today, we're jumping right into the technology that's designed to make you question your own eyes. We're talking about AI that can generate human faces that are so hyper realistic, they're almost flawless.
All right, let's just get straight to it. Every single face you're about to see in this next sequence is completely fake. Take a good look. This person, they do not exist. Their expression, their features, all of it, it's a synthetic creation. It was literally born from code.
And this person? Nope, not real either. What's happening here is that an AI has basically studied millions of real faces. It's learned all the little subtle rules of what makes us look, well, human, and now it can just spit out brand new ones whenever it wants. Think about it. There was no photographer, no studio lights, no human model. None of them were posed for by a human being. These faces were just, poof, willed into existence by an algorithm.
So this all leads to a huge question, right? How on earth can a machine, just a bunch of code, create something that looks so convincingly real? Well, the answer is pretty fascinating. It's basically a high-stakes game of digital cat and mouse.
So let's get into it. The secret here is this really clever idea that's a lot like a game between a master art forger and a brilliant detective. It's this constant battle of wits, and it's being played out millions of times every single second. Okay, the fancy name for this tech is a Generative Adversarial Network, or GAN for short. But don't let the name intimidate you. It's really just two AIs working against each other. You've got the generator, that's our forger, and you've got the discriminator, that's our detective. And their whole job is to try and outsmart each other. All right, so here's how this game actually works. First, the forger, that's the generator, it just creates a fake face out of basically random static. Then, the detective, the discriminator, it looks at that fake face and compares it to thousands of real faces to try and spot it. And here's the crucial part. Every single time the detective catches a fake, the forger learns from its mistake and gets better. This whole cycle just repeats over and over, millions of times, until the forger gets so good, so unbelievably good, that the detective is just guessing. It's only right about 50% of the time, like flipping a coin. And that's it. That's the stalemate. And that's the moment you get a perfect, hyper-realistic fake face. And here's a way to picture it. You've got the generator over here, just spinning random noise into an image. Then, that image gets sent over to the discriminator, which has been studying a huge library of real photos. It's this constant back and forth, this feedback loop that just pushes the system closer and closer to perfection. And of course, this stuff never stands still. The technology is always evolving. There's an even newer method called a diffusion model, and it takes a totally different approach. Imagine this. You take a perfect photo, and then you just systematically add noise to it until it's pure static. Then you train an AI to reverse that process step by step. It learns how to create a masterpiece by learning how to undestroy one. Pretty wild, right? Okay, so we have this mind-blowingly powerful technology. But the real story here isn't just about how it works. It's about who can use it. Because we're not talking about specialized labs anymore. We're talking about, well, your desk. Yeah, seriously. The kind of power that used to be locked away in super high-tech research facilities or, Hollywood special effects studios, it's now out there for pretty much anyone. The genie is, for better or for worse, officially out of the bottle. And if you think you need some kind of supercomputer to do this, think again. I mean, look at these minimum requirements. A dual-core processor, 8 gigs of RAM. And that's the scary part, right? This technology is now available to pretty much anyone with a laptop. So what happens when this tech becomes so easy to get? Well, that's where we get to the consequences. Because when anyone can literally create a person out of thin air, our entire idea of what's real starts to fall apart. And the results? They're pretty alarming. Just let this number sink in for a second. 3,000%. That's the increase in deepfake fraud attempts in just 2023. We're talking about criminals using fake faces, fake voices, to trick people into wiring away millions of dollars. But this is where it gets really weird. There's a psychological twist. A recent study actually found that people rated these AI-generated faces as almost 8% more trustworthy than real faces.
How is that possible? Well, because the AI makes them so symmetrical, so perfectly average, our brains are just hardwired to find them more trustworthy. The fakes can literally feel more real than the real thing.
So, as you can imagine, this has kicked off a huge technological arms race. For every new clever way to generate a deepfake, you have researchers scrambling to build a new tool to detect it. It is the classic cat and mouse game, but happening at the speed of light.
And look, the toolkit for creating these fakes is already massive. You've got everything from powerful open source models that can build a face from scratch to simple pay to apps on your phone that can swap faces in a video with, frankly, terrifying accuracy. The tools aren't just for experts anymore. They're mature, they're accessible, and they're everywhere.
Okay, so what can you do about it? How do you defend yourself? You have to become a better detective yourself. You've got to train your eye to look for the tiny flaws. Is the skin a little too perfect? Are there weird distortions in the teeth or the hair? Does the person blink in a way that just feels unnatural? And for videos, watch the mouth. Does the audio really sync up with the lips? See, AI is really, really good, but it still makes these little mistakes that can be a dead giveaway if you know what to look for.
When you put it all together, the incredible technology, how easy it is to get, this constant arms race, it all points to a new and pretty heavy responsibility that we all share now. We have officially entered an era where we have to fundamentally question what we see.
And that brings us to maybe the most dangerous consequence of all. It's something experts call the liar's dividend. Here's the idea. When everyone knows anything can be faked, a guilty person can just dismiss real evidence, a real video, a real audio recording as a deepfake. See, the goal isn't just to make you believe a lie anymore. It's to make you disbelieve the truth. And it eats away at the very foundation of how we agree on facts. Look, the line between what's real and what's artificial is only going to get blurrier from here on out. And that is why learning to question what you see online, to really think critically about where it came from, the context, all the little details, has never, ever been more important.